Hey everybody, Lainey here. So today is the second day of my journey in writing my novel, and I joined my writing sprint today, and so just thought I'd catch up a little bit on what is happening. I'm not saying it's exciting for you, but it is exciting for me. So last week I got started on writing a whole bunch of questions, and I have since been answering some of them. And honestly, that's what I spent my day on today. I spent my time answering those questions, or at least starting to think through them. And it's so much fun to be in this space where, I mean, okay, this is gonna sound silly. It's a blank page. I get to create this. I am able to decide, does she go left or right? Or is this a boy or a girl? Or is this person an introvert or an extrovert? And I really love that. And those are not the questions that I'm answering, but it's kind of that concept of the story is whatever I make it. And it is really fun to be in that space because again, it sounds silly, but I just feel like I'm in this super creator mind space, and I get to invent all of this stuff and create names and places and characters. And I think that I probably will have a time where places that I've been and people that I have known might be inspiration for how I assemble a character so that their characteristics make sense for a real person. But again, it's still my own creation and I get to decide. And so point being is that as I'm starting to answer these questions, it's so much fun to answer them and see what happens because of that. Because what I find is that the more questions that I answer, one, the more I have, but the more questions that I answer, the more the story becomes clearer to me. Again, I started with this tiny little idea, it was like 2 sentences, and I didn't know much else. And now, for instance, I know that I want this to be in a made-up world. So no cars, no cell phones. It's gonna have that dirt realm, like where the roads are dirt and there are pubs with steins and things like that. And that shapes the story. And I think that's part of the fun of it, is that I'm answering these questions. And when I answer them, it creates something. So it's almost like when I walk into a room, my eyes are closed and the room is blank. And then I think, okay, this world has dirt roads and the villages are brown and the homes are made of mud or whatever. And then I open my eyes and that's what I see. But when I walked into the room, it was empty and I didn't know what it was going to be until I answered the question, and then I opened my eyes and there it was. And now I can imagine the story taking place in a place where there are dirt roads. And so that has been really, really fun, because if I had said, okay, this takes place in the real world, this is where there's cars and things like that, then that changes the story, because what's accessible to the characters or what people see and how people treat each other or where they go or where they can hide or whatever changes because of these answers, because of the environment that I create, because of the way that the character develops. The story gets created as the world develops and as the characters develop. So that's really what I'm having fun with, is asking and answering questions and seeing what happens with the story. Seeing that when I answer this one question, it means it helps shapes the other answers to the other questions that I have, because now I know a little bit more about what that would look like or feel like in this world that I'm creating. Okay, so just more in the space of no writing yet. Ha! Imagine writing a book doesn't always entail writing. At least not for me. There are other writers who they write by writing. I guess one of the things that I'm learning is I write by planning. So amazing. For those of you who know me, they're going to be like, well, of course Lainey plans. So that's where I'm at today. That was the fun that I had, and we'll see what happens moving forward. Hopefully this was helpful to you, seeing my journey. Maybe you'll learn from something along the way, and I appreciate you watching and following along. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.